Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Jason from Straight Edge Knives. Hey, we're back here at Condor with Jason Breeden, and he's actually going to go over his new K-Night series and a folder that he has coming out new with Condor this year.
Jason, good to see you, my friend. Having a good show, and appreciate you coming by. So, get right into it this year. Really excited about an opportunity I've got with this new K-Night series. It's 3 different tools, knives, machetes, axe, and kind of has a flow to it, a common theme. So what I wanted to do is we'll start here with the machetes. I wanted to come up with a series that was kind of bridge the gap between martial arts and field use, right? And growing up in West Virginia, I always loved machetes, used machetes a lot, but machetes were typically designed for light green brush in jungle situations. A lot of times a longer blade in tight, heavy eastern woodlands can be a little bit of a challenge. They're not necessarily designed with a thinner blade to cut heavier stuff. So I really wanted to come up with a line, and starting with the machete, something that was short, very fast, very easy to wield for people in martial arts, but was also a great tool for clearing brush, a nice size to fit in your backpack, and with a little bit of an extended handle, so you had some different grip length to it. So start off talking about that a little bit. So the handle shape is actually set up where you can grip at quite a distance and reach out. This particular overall knife, it'd be great. You can snap cut with it. You can choke up a little and just sort of use it as a chopper, and you can choke up even more and use it more of a slicer. This thing would make a great tool for dressing large fish or something like that. It's great for.
I think it's just going to be fun to swing around the backyard.
Yeah, so take a look at that.
As soon as I picked it up earlier on the table, I just wanted to start swinging it, but obviously we can't because this thing is so light.
You can one,
but it's light. It's like light in a good way though. It's not it's like ridiculously light. This thing's pretty solid. It's not. There's a little bit of flex like what you showed it out, but it's not over. But it's a good light. It's like you're not going to wear yourself out. Swinging this through.
It's not a sledgehammer, but at the same time, it's not just a big knife. It's really a good hybrid, and really that's what the whole series is about. Is a hybrid, bridging different things, and that is really in sort of a class by itself, right? The blade's 13 inches, which is sort of an odd number for a lot of machetes. Typically are a little longer, more in the 18-inch plus range. And the handle's 8 inches long, so you could actually sort of double grip it if you want to try that. Like you could hard your hand. You could still sort of, if you needed to, double up for something and take a blow or something of that nature. And then it gives you a lot of different grip options. Yeah, right.
So move.
And then you got the sheath, which is really nice. So you got a very nice lightweight Kydex sheath. Which again, I didn't want to kill the lightweight, fast aspect of that. Something that's easy carried in a backpack with a big, heavy, bulky sheath. So it's really lightweight, very fast sheath. It comes with these. You can actually detach the buttons. You can spin them around on the sheath, and it kind of becomes this really neat setup. There's attachment points in the back, so you can run a belt or a strap through them. You can actually run the belt through this direction as well, or a strap, something of that nature. However you want to attach it, it gives you a lot of options because you can feed your lanyards or straps through it a lot of different ways.
Or even with the hole down here and the hole up here, you can even put some D-rings on there and run a baldric carry if you wanted to as well.
Absolutely,
this isn't thinner, definitely lighter sheath for sure.
Yeah, and I love for knives to carry through to the user and allow them to put their twist on the design as well. So
that's good retention, really good retention, and there's no wiggle in there, like no rattle. I can hear it. Very nice. And then you did put in a nice little thumb ramp, which I like, because you can pop right there. Get that out quick. So I live up in California where we got like redwoods and stuff like that. And a lot of times, I have redwoods on trees in my backyard. you go out there and start trying to film and do some good stuff underneath those trees. You got something wrong, like you said, a machete, you're hitting all these branches above you.
Right.
So this would be a nice, typically a compromise to kind of get in there and de-limb some of those things that can clear up the trees and stuff like that, for
Right.
work and whatever. Or, you got to be a little bit more precise. Kind of come in there, yeah, this is great. I really like this. Like, when I walked to this table and seen it, when I picked it up, I'm going to have one.
Well, it's been very popular at the show. I've had a lot of good feedback, and like I said, it's one of those things that nobody's really knows how to handle, right? Because it's new and different, right? It's like, oh wow, you can do this with it, you can do this with it. So I really think, given it being a slicer chopper and really a lot of uses in different environments, right, and with different foliage and whatever you're doing with it. Plus, it's a very nice protection tool, right? And I'm not a formally trained in anything in martial arts, but it is a great knife to throw in your vehicle, put in your pack. Keep it close at hand, if you need something. So it's very available because of its size and weight, and has a lot of functionality.
Yeah, like you said, throwing your vehicle underneath the seat, you break down on the long stretch of highway, and you got a bed of fire, you can de-limb some stuff real quick, make a quick little brush fire,
right.
Keep you warm if you have to. I know there's been a crazy winter this year, a lot of people are getting stuck out there in the dust. You might need to do that, get out there, make yourself a little fire. It's always good to have something like that.
Right.
And probably I don't know what the price point is on this, but at the price point too, it's also, I'm sure it's a good price point, because Condor's good for value.
Oh yeah, I think it's going to have all the value. It's simplistic in its design and build, so we don't have a ton of extras built into it that aren't necessary for everybody. But you can put the extras in that you want, right? And that's really what it's all about. Is giving a great platform for somebody to start.
Yeah. And it's a good starting point. It's a price point. You build it. And then if it is in the car, and your car gets stolen, like, you're not going to be crying that you lost a $500 machete or something,
And the other part of that, so you kind of lead into a nice thing, is by keeping a good value and a good price point, you can actually start adding to the set. So not just the machete, but we also have the K-Knight axe. And interesting story here, Jason. If you do me a favor, pull back out the machete. So I actually took what I thought was a good feeling handle, right? And I actually took that handle and married it to an axe, right? So if you look here, you can see the handles are all but identical, except for the thickness of the axe is different. And so I'll hand that back to you. Another interesting fact, I'll share with your watchers, is actually the blade length is the same as the overall length of the axe, right? So just some interesting things as a designer I wanted to throw in there, cool little anomalies in the design. But what we have here is really a good, again, hybrid axe. I wanted something that wasn't a tomahawk or just a field axe. So, I actually, if you look, I kind of did another little hidden cool feature here. It looks like the Condor logo, right? So we have the logo there behind us. But if you look, the Condor logo, it actually mimics the head of the Condor.
Yeah.
And it's also a really nice striking. If you're in, again, martial arts practitioner, this gives you a good strike point. You have a good point out here, that if you're forward thrusting or doing something like that, you have that. It also has a really nice beard down here, and so from an outdoorsman standpoint, you've got plenty of edge. You've got a really good head for chopping, de-limbing, doing things like that. You can actually choke up and shave with it a little bit, do some work, close grip. Actually wanted to put a hole in here for people. Also, if you wanted to maybe cord wrap this and thicken it up a little bit, if you use this type of grip a lot, it's available for you there as well. And just like the machete, you can do a high grip, in here, do some, like I said, if you're doing de-limbing, Jason, like I said, you're in a tight spot and you want to use this, you can limb with it. You can choke down, really get some power into a chop. And again, the way the end is made and fits very nice into the palm of the hand here, you can actually close up on that very securely. You need to get out and chop with it, or again, thrust with it. You can do that. And the beard, is a really nice beard that if you're pulling back into something or hooking, it works well for that. And one of the uses I like for the beards I try to put on my axes is can actually come into the end of a log and carry it, right? So from a woodsman standpoint, it's got all those nice features. You can put a really high lanyard on it right here, and loop around the wrist. A lot of people like that option as well, so that if it does escape the hand, it's not acting like a pendulum, but it kind of forces it to go to a neutral position. So yeah, take a look at that.
And again, not overly heavy, right? Like, so you go long distance backpacking, things like that. Ounces equal weight equals, or pounds equal.
Right.
Pounds, can't really say, but weight hurts.
Right.
Yeah, trust me, I know.
Yeah, it weighs on you.
It weighs on you. Yeah.
It weighs on you. But again, it has enough mass to be a valid chopper, for those things that you need to do as a backpacker, or a week-long trip into the woods or longer. You've got something that can really do some work. You can use the back side there to strike the fence and do things. So,
got the work pieces like scraping for like minor material,
right,
for starting a fire.
Right. Try to make every edge a little bit useful, and I find that that's handy. And people find their own uses for that, right? So
I do like, you're right, like the shape of the head looks like a bird. Like
yeah.
It'd almost be cool if you laid the rest a couple little eyeballs on the side. Yeah, it's nice and light. Yeah, obviously it comes with a Kydex sheath.
Yeah, nice Kydex sheath with a belt loop there. You can actually turn that around and put it on either side, right, so that you can carry it left or right-handed. And it's really just a top draw sheath that just goes straight in, hangs it very well, and works good. So that leads us then, Jason, to this guy again. So sort of that hybrid, really good, nice little, what I'll call like a bushcrafting knife. You can do a lot of work, has a good point for different chores out in the wilderness and so forth. A very light setup again. If you're out on the trail a lot and you're looking to keep it lightweight, you can actually do that. Has a nice little belt loop on it. You can run through the belt loop again. It's got you can neck carry with this knife, and like you said, it has a really great little release feature here on the back so that you can draw it, and a really nice hybrid leather and Kydex, right? So hybrid was sort of the main word here, and the knife fits nice, with a full grip. If you're going to hammer grip, or if you're going to hold it like this, either works really well. And for people with bigger hands, you've got a place to land a pinky back here, or if you want to choke back a little bit for something that you're needing to do, you can actually sort of adjust your grip on it just like the axe and machete. This is 14C 28N. So the other two are 1075 for a lot heavier work, chopping, batoning, hammering with. And what I wanted here is a really nice little knife. It could do anything from chores out in the field with kitchen type work, or light bushcraft work. It's just a really good little overall round knife, and easy to carry.
Well, that 22, it's a good aeration tool.
Yeah. Really,
you got to aerate your yard.
Yeah. Or somebody messing with it, right? So.
But this handle, like, I wear XL gloves, the big hands, and like you said, you got big hands, you rush your meat. My pinky doesn't even come out. So I got a legit full grip on this,
right,
with no issues. I don't feel like I'm right at the very edge. I got a full grip. I'm not even really covering the lanyard hole. So, that's
right.
You get a nice good handle grip on that if you need to, and then come over the top. You do have a little bit of pommel here too for just a little bit of striking, or hammering or something to be out to, but just slightly there.
And that is carried through. I'll show that. Again, the feature, and if you want to look, even the handle shape mimics.
Yeah.
So even in the knife, the handle profile mimics the axe and the machete. So someone looking to sort of build a nice little set for outdoor use all the way around, that you could carry all three and use them together for different scenarios, or pick any one of them up for whatever the day is going to bring you, right? So
you can even, this is sharpening too, where I feel like you can throw sparks off the fire rod. So you can leave it in the sheath, you want to feel safe, and you can strike your fire through your barrel rod that way.
Right.
And I love combat. I just don't know why they're not on all Kydex. But yeah, you can pop it right off. And I really like the leather wrap. I like Kydex, but I love leather too. And I really like it when you can have Kydex with this leather wrap. Just get kind of the best of both worlds. You get that cool leather look, but you got the rigidity of Kydex, and I like that a lot.
Or it allows you to mount other clips and things if you have other preferences, right? Everybody, again, adaptability and change is something that I like to offer people. So
you come in and switch this out, and you can take these screws out here, switch this around, and make it left or right hand carry if you need to. So it gives you that nice ability to do that as well. So, very cool, nice, clean looking setup. Like all three together, like look
very cohesive, right? And again, just to kind of show your group there. I mean, again, you got the K-Knight axe and the K-Knight knife and the K-Knight machete. So, because we're here, if you don't mind, I want to bring in something just new and neat and different and special. I don't think I've mentioned it to you, but this year also doing a folder with Condor. Really excited about this. So this is a knife that's going to play right into the Mountain Pass series. The first release I did with Condor was a Mountain Pass, and then we did the Mountain Pass Tactical, which offered some additional grip options. It was a tomahawk. I did like a shoot knife. Did a push dagger in that series, and so I wanted to really do something that accented both the Mountain Pass original series and the tactical. So we came up with a folder here. It's a good size folder. Actually has the classic Condor finish on it, so it looks kind of rugged, old school, robust. The canvas micarta scales are again brown, so even at a distance, somebody might say, "Hey, it looks a little like wood, more natural feel to it." We did put some of the lines in it, the jimping like the tactical series, so it echoes that. It does have a blade profile that very much mimics the Mountain Pass tactical shoot knife, right? So it has that sort of shoot knife feel to it, with the disappearing ricasso, right? So it kind of comes right in off the grind, and it also offers a way for people with more traditional opening. You can actually grab the ricasso and open it that way, or for those who want to flip the knife open, you've got the really nice double thumb stud. And with a lot of things that I do, I try to honor left and right hand carry. So came up with this clip this year for the knife that is ambidextrous and comes across the back of the knife. You can wear it in your pocket, left or right hand carry, without making any adjustments. It is a liner lock, 14C28N. And Jason, I'll let you take a look at that, see what you think.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely not light, not heavy. But if you're a guy or gal that likes a more robust knife, like this is going to fit that need. It's definitely a bigger holder than what you normally see a lot of people carry. But if you want a bigger blade and a folder, like this could be a good option for you.
So I'll show you readers here. I think I got a tape measure, and let's take a look. So you're actually getting, let's take a look there at the length, right? So you're getting a full 4.5 inch long blade, but in a handle that measures only 5 1/8 inches overall. Yeah. So we bury a lot of edge into a great package. You've got all the functionality of a big knife, but in a very compact fashion. So that's the name of the knife. It's coming out. It's going to be compact. A little play on tactical and compact. So you can be very, feel like this is bridges into the world of tactical, but with a very almost classic sort of outdoors fashion, right? So it kind of meets a lot of different needs for people, and leaves it up to the user to use it as they see fit, right? And they put a lot of good construction into it, so you can see there's a lot of pins that hold it together, keeping it strong, robust, and heavier use. You've got an area in the back where you can actually do some light batoning while still having a false edge. So you have a little bit of a tactical feel, but you can you can really use the knife.
I mean, I guess if you really wanted to, you could even come in and sharpen this. It's actually down thin enough where it wouldn't really take too much more to have a sharpened back edge. But this is really nicely made. Like, primarily I do fixed blades, but I do have folders as well. And like looking at this, the blade centered. Like a lot of times, I know a lot of folder guys they'll look at the blade and it's just centered. Right. It's off and on. It's centered. It opens easily, no problem. It's really smooth. It clicks, and when it's clicking in, I can hear that bar locking across. It's got full engagement on the bar. It's not like a 50% or partial. So I feel like you could probably get some pretty good solid blacks in, before that. Sometimes liner locks give out on it. Right. Disengage. But it's solid. I mean, all the screws are recessed. You're not going to have any hot spots or screws coming out.
Exactly.
Some companies will just run them right on the very top, and then like Carter, when they do the Carter, the screws left raised a little bit, and then you get that little hot spot kind of on the hand. I've seen that before. Right. Even the pivot pins are recessed as well, so it's really nice. And then, like I said, you got 2 screws on the clip. There is a backspacer in here. It's kind of, you can't see it because of the clip. There's a backspacer there as well. So yeah, I mean, this is definitely a solid weld. I mean, steel liners, like I'm sure there's
stainless liners.
And looking at it, they're not even skeletonized. I don't think.
No,
they're full steel liners. This is a robust knife. You know what I mean? So yeah, you're definitely going to have a stout. If you're looking for a more stout, robust folder, this is going to be definitely something to look at. It's got the. I like that.
Yeah, you have the bigger hands. Yeah. So like again, you get a good purchase on that without extending back beyond the handle area, and yet with the modified coffin handle, which is on all the Mountain Pass series back here, you still have sort of that land area again for a pinky if you need to come back a little. Choke back on it.
Whatever. You got a lanyard though too as well, so you have to choke lanyard it, choke back. Right. Don't lose it. Very solid. Yeah. Yep. I mean, there's no play here, side to side. No play back and forth.
Condor's really come along in the folders, and we're excited about this with some other releases that they've got this year that in the folder realm. So, great product. I'm excited to get this in people's hands.
What are these? Do you have an idea when this is supposed to release?
They should be out in the next couple of months, right? So production, and I think we're going to be somewhere maybe around the 150 range. Don't quote me on that exactly. We're kind of a prototype. Yeah, so we're going to make you might see a couple of adjustments. You're holding the prototype there, but nothing major. That's pretty much the way the knife's going to turn out, and may have a couple of interesting things when those happen with it. I'll let you know. Maybe potentially a leather sheath, wink. So nice. So something there that people want to belt carry it, they can. So
we like the old school bucks, like you had that old school buck that you pull out and open up out of the leather sheath.
Right. Like again, bridges that gap, right? But for people who may have been more accustomed to an old school buck knife without a clip, to those who want something a little more, modern materials. Again, the 14C 28N is a great stainless. Enjoy using that. It's actually the same steel that's in the K-knife, small knife, and sharpens well, holds an edge well, and you had to cutting an apple or cutting a tomato and you forget to wash it off or can.
You're not 46 ounce ribeye we're gonna have.
There you go. Absolutely.
The leather sheath actually would be a really cool option to come with. Either comes with it or to buy, because if you don't like this back lip is a little different. Like when I first grabbed it, I was like, it kind of rides in your pocket, not what you're used to, but it's like something you get used to easily. It's not, I don't think it's a big deal. Right? But if you really didn't like that, take it off, and now you got that cool leather sheath. Right. And who doesn't like carrying a knife around a leather sheath? I do.
The old belt carry, that's kind of how I grew up. If I took something out in the woods, a lot of times I didn't have a fixed blade. I just grab an old Mako shark or something.
I mean, it's crazy with the phones and the iPads, the AirPods. Like
Right.
our pockets are stuffed with so much stuff as it is. Like, is there really room for a pocket knife sometimes?
Right.
So it's nice. Okay, it's going on my belt, which is awesome.
Well, and a nice, snap sheet. My feeling is we get that worked out. It's it makes for a very good option for people who want to be really, even in a work environment, maintenance guys, somebody's going to be crawling around a lot that may have the risk of a knife clip catching and pulling out of the pocket, or things happen, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to overcome a really nice snap sheet, right? That you got the knife in and it's up on your side, and it's in a safe environment that way. So
from a visual perspective too, I've always felt like public, people see knives in public. Some people freak out. Some people have, oh my God, he's, they forget.
Yeah.
But if you throw a knife in a leather sheath, it's suddenly a different thing for some people, perception-wise.
Right. Or may not even know what it is these days so much, right? So a nice little square leather pouch is not an intrusive sort of feeling,
Could be a
scary
leather
thing.
man,
Right, could be anything.
Yeah.
Right? So,
So, are you working in an office where they might frown upon you? Like say throwing a leather pouch, it's not so scary.
yeah. And let's face it, Condor's leather's beautiful work, right? They do some really high quality leather work.
Yeah.
And so a nice a nice sheet like that actually is an accessory to a certain extent, right? It looks great on the belt.
Condor does. This is what I've always liked about Condor is I love modern stuff, but I love old stuff too.
Right.
Like I love the way old stuff, old blades and stuff. And Condor is, in my opinion, the one company that's really taken that old look and modernized it with modern materials.
Absolutely.
Like you look at any of the catalogs and stuff, and you see stuff from the frontiers looking days, from tribal Indian days,
multiple
Panama,
different countries.
multiple countries. You can almost say that Condor is all inclusive.
Yeah, it really is.
Buzzword, right?
Right.
So, and that's what I really like about their stuff. Like I can go through and find Viking stuff, South American stuff, Native American stuff, historic looking stuff. But it's a lot of times you see that historic looking stuff from other catalogs or other places. It's decorative. You can't use it.
Right.
This stuff you can grab off the wall, grab it off your wall, you got it as decoration, and put it to work. And then hang it back over the wall. It's going to look pretty cool.
That's right. And taking it around, it becomes a real conversation piece with people. I mean, Condor has a real name for that, and wow, I don't see anything else like that, right? So it has that unique quality to it, and very blessed to be a part of the Condor team and share my designs and share them with people through Condor's manufacturing. And like I said, they're value. If I had one word I'd put on Condor, it's value. They know what it is to been making tools and knives for over 50 years, right? I mean, 20th anniversary of Condor alone, and the parent company's been making tools and manufacturing and uses all different forms of manufacturing, so they're really a great value all the way around.
Well, and they hire guys like you, so and Joe, and everybody's that's awesome. Well, Jason, man, thank you. I appreciate you taking the time. I know it's always busy here at Shotshow, and I do appreciate you guys all taking the time to sit down and talk to me about the knives that are coming out. And I really love that you guys all sat down, like between the Survival University and Joe Flowers and you, all of you sat down and really explained the design features, which I think a lot of people sometimes just don't get with other reviews. And I appreciate that. And that way, somebody looks at the same coverage you would think, what authentic culture or any of these things.
What were you thinking? Right?
Yeah, no, but it's cool. A lot of times people are like, oh, what did you use that for? Well, this is what it was.
Right.
The thought process behind it. And I think once people kind of see that and they understand it, like, oh, it makes more sense. I mean, obviously, it's not. I mean, we all know what this is going to be used for. But I still really like hearing the thought process.
Right.
It makes it brings more life to it.
Yeah, the minutia thought process sometimes, like I said, and even for us, it's organic a lot of times as designers. You sort of start with a picture in your head, but as you start designing, to me, you see the flow of lines, you see the usefulness of it, or the applications that could come along. And a lot of people say a knife is a knife, right? That there are knives, old tool, right? It's been around, maybe one of the earliest ones, if not the earliest one, and it can really be used for a lot of different features and functions. And knives have migrated to be built and axes and other things over the years for specific purposes. But I think when you can really start hybridizing them and bringing them in, you get a whole new group of users, right, that never thought about, hey, that's really a handy thing to have around me. And so that's what we're set out to do. I know Joe does it, and others, and we really want people to appreciate and experience and have a good quality item that they can hand down from generation to generation. I grew up with that. Knives are something that's handed down from a grandfather, a father, a son, and then continue on through that line. And there's the quality in Condor to do that, and they build stories, right? I mean, that's really what it's all about is experiences and talking about, hey, I remember when we did this, and I was using this, so that's one of the things that I enjoy about it too. So it's a family, and I appreciate you taking time today to hear that, right? And our knife family, all the people here to experience these shows, and we have a common love and appreciation for what we do. And I appreciate you taking time to hear us talk about our knives and the designs and what we're thinking, because we want to bring quality products to people that want to use them, or have them with them, or even for collector pieces, whatever your purpose is. But we want to provide something that meets that need, right? So hopefully this new K-Night series and the compact folder will do that this year, and we'll continue on.
I think they'll do well. So,
all right.
Thanks, sir. Greatly appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you everybody for watching.
Thank you.
Stay safe, stay sharp. Oh, well, can't always forget to do this. Where can they find your products?
So online, Condor, there's a lot of dealers and distributors. So basically, if you Google Jason Breeden knives, a lot of times you'll pop up with all that, and the new knives, the new catalog's been released. So take a look. There's a lot of great designs in there, and shop around.
Yeah, find the best price and get you a quality tool. So, all right, everybody, stay safe, stay sharp. We'll see you next time.